At 1857, good luck. Oh, we played once before, could have been any time control. Let's play the carrot as per usual. So our opponent, 1200 games, so we're quite similar actually. We've done 1000 and whatever it is. Not far from 1100. So which version of the carrot does our opponent wish to go in for? Lots of moves. You can play a knight up, you can advance, you can take, you can go for this fantasy line. So e6 is the right line, right book move here. e5 is playable. Don't want to be a bit bold. I'm not really a bit of a bold player on that, but e5 is playable. Gets a bit sharp. Let's do it. Let's play e5 for this one instead of e6. e6 is the principled book move. It is slow rapid, so opponent will probably figure it out. Probably. He goes there. Okay. I'm going to take the pawn. Okay, so can I advance here? Why not? I think I want knight up here. I can't remember my theory now. I'm already forgetting. Bishop up is obviously a move. Let's develop the bishop and hit the knight. I could have thrown a check in as well and created a pawn push, I suppose, but so he's played bishop up to guard. I've already gone wrong here, haven't I? I'm mixing my theory up somewhere. I can just tell that I've gone wrong. So if I play knight up, he's got knight takes. And say I take back anywhere, he's got bishop takes bishop. So that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I've definitely gone wrong here. What do I do then? I'm actually going to drop the bishop back. I've mixed my theory up here. I've looked at this line a long time ago. Playing e5. e6 is what I'd played, like, you know, pretty much 100 out of 100. This time I played e5, so I've forgotten my theory as soon as I've played it. Shouldn't have played it. Should have gone to e6, the standard move. So I'm just going to play a knight across and castle if I can. So he's played knight up, so I'll play knight across and guard the pawn. It happens though when you're playing chess, even if you've studied something, you often forget it when you're in the actual game that you're playing. Okay, advances. So I think now is the time to take the pawn. But I don't want him to get a real big clamp door, so I'll have to let him take castle. If knight takes, queen takes, and hope there isn't a trick. But I think I pretty much have to take. So let's take there. I think I'm going to castle here. Is there a pressure move like knight across? My bishop covers, right? So it's castle. If he takes, I'll have to take. I don't think there's a nasty discovery because I could take with a check. And if I'm here, I guess my knight could take and I'd still cover the queen. It's one of them tactical, it's one of them positions where you can feel there might be tactics in the air that I'm not aware of. Some sort of tactical blow. It could exist here. It could do, it really could. That's a dangerous move, isn't it? So I've got bishop up, I've got pawn up, and he wants to go here, I guess. So what about knight up and hit the two pieces? My queen guards this. We threaten to take, activate the rook. Knight up, queen down is a problem, but I've got pawn up. Say h4, we still hit the bishop, right? Let's play knight up and not overthink it too much. If knight takes, my bishop covers, and I'd be happy. I still cover my bishop here with the queen. But I think he's looking at more like queen down. I'll have to play up first because there's a checkmate and one threat. But once we've pushed up, we're threatening to take the bishop or the knight. And if he plays knight takes, bishop takes, there isn't a nasty discovery anywhere that I can see. There might be one, I'm just not seeing it, but I don't think there is. So he has taken, so we're going to take back. So now we can drop back. We automatically guard the pawn. The queen down in one move, we can simply drop the bishop back. Oh, he's happy to trade the bishop. Well, that should be good for us. So if we take here, he still creates a checkmate threat. Logical. So can we ignore that and drop back? But then there's a risk that the pawn could advance and the bishop is trapped, right? So I don't think we can. I think we need to take and go g6. So it's actually still a bit tricky then. Or maybe I play queen up. Queen up, if he played queen down, I'd be fine to take because I cover the mate threat in one. Then I've got queen across. So I think I've got queen up here. I'm going to risk it and play queen up. If he takes, I take... Oh, I blunder my bishop. What have I done? I've just chucked the game. He just has to take, and take the bishop. I've just lost my mind, haven't I? Yeah, it's just another line I've not played before. Should I just move on to another game? Oh, he doesn't see it. Thank God for that. Take, and take, and the whole game is finished, isn't it? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oof, get that bishop back. Yeah, I shouldn't have played e5 at the start. e6 is the correct book move, and I know it's the correct book move, but e5 is a playable move, and I know it's a playable move. Just as soon as I played it, I forgot how to play it. So he has indeed come forward, but I'm okay to take now, because I cover the checkmate threat with my bishop, and if he takes back, I've got queen across. So this is what I was looking at originally. Take first and then queen over, or indeed pawn up, but I'm very happy just to get the queen off the board. He doesn't have to take, he can drop the queen back. He does take. So, I mean, there's still issues. There's no immediate threat, but there's still issues. Bishop up could be nice to get the bishop off, but we've given him a target. A weakness for us to target. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gone for. Rook up, he's going here, but there's no actual immediate threat. So I think bishop up is a move here, but we probably want to get knight up just to complete development. It covers this, it covers knight across. It's what's he planning on actually doing? Rook across and there's no knockout blow. So bishop over and I can now pin the bishop and get it off the board. So the bishop's going to have to come off now. It's whether we go with the knight or we bring the pawn across. I quite like bringing the pawn across towards the centre. It puts pressure on here. We can maybe start marching up or getting the knight active somehow. And then get the rooks hopefully into play. It's just figuring out the pattern, isn't it? Figuring out where we want to be. But I think we want this rook across. So let's bring this rook over quickly. Just cover this. Of course he's got king up. So maybe I should have gone here. Maybe, yeah. King up. What are we going to do? Knight up. Rook over, trade, rook across. It's pressure. I guess he's got king up. Indeed, that's what he's gone for, king up. So knight up might be a move here. Then the quick rook over we can check. And if he drops back here to guard his rook, we could take here with a check. So knight up could be a move, and he needs to throw this in, I think. It's not gaining a lot, is it? But it's a move. It's a chance for him to go wrong if he plays this quickly, I think. Because he'd have to keep his king next to his rook, so he wouldn't. He should play that, which he's done, and he's seen that. So now I think we bring the other rook across, or we go here and we double up. But I don't really see the great benefit to that. So have I put my knight on a wrong square now? Possibly. I'm going to bring the knight into the centre. We'll trade a rook here. I'll come across. He'll come back. Then we'll try and just get forward or something. Or I could even push my pawn immediately and try and chip away at this structure. Let him do the taking if that's what he's aiming for. But yeah, it's always dangerous if you any opening you play, if you just play one move a little bit different to what you normally play, and then you suddenly forget what you've looked at. Very dangerous. So my knight looks very nice now, but it could actually be on a wrong square. It could be on a wrong square. But I think I need to push this pawn forward and try and chip away here. And give him another isolated pawn here. So if he pushes down here, it seems nice here, doesn't it? It seems nice, just trade. we break this structure, we can push a pawn up if we need to. It might all collapse, of course it might, so I'm going to try and push on this side before our opponent crashes through this side. So he's now moved his rook across, so I think I just want to push up here now. I don't see the threat. Doesn't mean there isn't one, but I don't see it. Just see what you play what you see. The takes, I've got the knight to take, or I can activate the rook first and pressure this pawn. Might be better actually if he takes, to drop the rook in first and threaten to take with check. If he takes here, then he can come across trade, we get this one as well. So he has done that. So if I go here and he ignores it, say he pushes, I can take with check and collect, and that's 2 pawns. If I take here with the knight now, this is well guarded, so there's no actual threat. And if I go here, he's only got 2 ways to defend it, and either way I can take back here and it feels good. So I'm going to activate the rook. It just means this rook's now not protected, so if he was here, I don't really have the option to just ignore it for a move. But I'm trying to come in, so he has gone there, so I'm now going to collect this pawn and say, are you going to collect, still protect this, which he's done. So now do I want rook across here to attack, to defend? I don't see any trick though, but maybe his pawn up a move to come around the angles. But here, has he got knight across here? But it plants my knight, but it gives him a target, doesn't it? It gives him a target. But there's no benefit to having the rook here to stop the knight. It's not stopping it anywhere. So I think I want to be on this file. But then what do I do? What do we do? I don't see the benefit. Here, rook at rook over, we can trade. I can drop the knight back here and just pressure this pawn. Pawn up C comes down. Yeah, no, I don't want to allow that. I want to go here first and then maybe prepare this, or just drop back. See what he does. I've lost most of my time advantage thinking there now. Okay, so he has brought the knight back. So I think I need to steady edge forward, don't I? We don't want him jumping in here. We want to try and put a pawn there. If he edges forward now, probably drop the rook back and across, or the rook right back and across, something like that. It's not easy to try and target this pawn. I don't see how I get my rook unless I get the rook over here somewhere. So he's pushed forward here now. So I think we want to take here. I don't see anything else. So I'm going to take without burning all the clock. And I'm going to try and go here. And then bring the knight back or back. Here I'll have to push. So let's move quickly and try and redeploy the knight somewhere. Get it on a more central square where it's maybe covering a bit more reach. This is really dangerous now. You see only a couple of moves and the rook comes across and this could collapse. Although I do have rook here to pressure this pawn. Yeah, that's the danger. Just you play a slightly different opening, and then I'm trying to play a little bit quick now to keep my opponent under clock pressure. But one miss is all we need. But if I come away from this pawn, then it releases his rook to not need to defend it. Say I play rook here to come behind, and he's got king across here, so he has gone for that move. Now, I think I can ignore it for one move, because if he takes, I can take back. If he plays rook across, I can push up. So I think I'm in time to get the knight back. But do I want the knight here or here? Does it matter? Here puts pressure on this. Rook up could be nice, but it's not really threatening anything, is it? So knight here, is it going to go anywhere though? If I push up now, he can start marching. I'll have to put pressure on here. But I guess we can. I don't know. It's like, can I afford to ignore this is what I'm telling myself and take. And if he plays rook across, then I push, right? So I'm going to drop the knight back and hit the pawn. If he takes, I think I'll take back. But then he's got the outside pawn, but I can't afford to not take back and allow him to protect it, and then there was suddenly a checkmate threat. So I've got to activate this rook. This rook's not doing a lot, but it's tying this one down. But this rook, this knight, this rook, not sure what I'm trying to achieve. So do I have to go back here and run the risk that he pushes? Here, check, that's a problem. Here, yeah, my king's too stuck there. I've got to come back this way. My king would just be in a mating net there and basically out of the game. It might be doomed already. I can't go here now from where I've put these pieces. Might have gone wrong. I've got knight here to potentially come back, or here. So he's played knight over to target this pawn. If I move it, I'll lose my rook. That's no good. So I think rook up looks sensible here. Then if he comes across, I can always pin and trade a rook, right? Here, rook across. It doesn't do anything, but I've got this move in reserve if needed. So I'm going to bring the rook up. If needed, I can go here. If I decide not to go with the rook, I can push the pawn, and now there's no check. But as soon as I release this rook anywhere, it releases this rook. Whether he's achieving anything, I don't know, but it's released now. I've only got one real move here, haven't I? And then he'll be able to check now, but I could block. I can block. If he takes, I can take back. Two ways. If he checks, we'll eventually break the check, and then we hit this pawn, but he's got this one. So can we stop this pawn? Because it's a passed pawn, that's a difference. I don't have a passed pawn, opponent does. So do I go here? He doesn't have rook this way, so here is a move. There's no knight check to worry about. Or do I step here? And then it gives him another check. I don't think I can do that, so I think I have to block. And it's just a case of how is best to take back. But if I take with a king, he's only got a knight check, but it's still a check, isn't it? Yeah, he's gone back. I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to trade. Okay. So knight across, is it a move? I don't know. Maybe I can start getting active now and come here because he didn't trade. Or back. Or right back. I'm actually going to come right back and try and go behind the knight. I'm trying to keep him under that time pressure. A minute up just about. Okay, he's brought his rook down. So, do we throw a knight in here? What about here? There is no king forward, but there is here. But it's not achieving anything. But there's knight back to hit his knight. I guess he's got knight up. I don't like the look of that. Well, this is basically safe, right? He's got knight here, and I can just throw a check in. So I'm going to bring the rook back and go this way. But I've lost a lot of my time there just thinking like that. Knight here, I think I just throw a check in, then try and activate the other rook, something like that, and then everything is really solid. The king can run. I could even check here with the other rook, couldn't I, and keep this rook here actually, and that rook guards. Yeah, that'd be better. Keep this rook on this file. Just check here, drop back and attack the knight. Or knight here, king up. Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Rook check. Rook check is the move. That's what he's done. Oh, he attacks my rook though, doesn't he? He attacks my rook. But check. He can attack our rook. No, that's not right. Let's check with this one. But I want to deal with this move. How do I do that? Oh, I guess I've got knight here. Let's play knight here just to stop this. Okay. Now I'll bring this rook over, hit the pawn. You know, he's nearly out of time, thankfully. Oh, that's, can I afford to take that? He's attacking my rook. But there's no knight check, right? So I can go here and hit this pawn. He's got no check. So we managed to get there thanks to the clock. Tough game on it. I took a real major risk in the opening. Played a move I don't play and then forgot my theory straight away. So let's see what it was in engine language. So it's 42 moves, so they're the move times for both players. Let's put it through the analyzer. Yeah, I have gone horribly wrong in the opening, haven't I? Where have we blundered here? That might not have been the move, though. Opening's gone wrong, but like I say, I'm just playing a line that I don't normally play and just completely forgot everything. Completely forgot everything. So 80 against 78, the figures are going to be all over the place here. So I know it's a move, I just forgot what to do. I know it's a perfectly good move, I just forgot. And I was supposed to take this way, okay. I just forgot the line that I was intending to play, and then I should have still played knight f6 and not worried about the pawn down. I dropped back to get out of the way of the tactics, and to try and deal with this pawn push. So you see, we're worse out of the opening. Then I should have just castled though and not taken the pawn. We're not worried about the pawn storm. So that was actually a blunder, and again I should have played this. I was worried about him just literally sacking the knight, so I didn't bother doing that, just blowing the position open. But it was the correct move. So knight over was a blunder. Then there's suddenly a blunder coming here, and we're suddenly a lot worse. Oh, it's because I dropped the bishop, didn't I? That's right. I was aware of that. I said at the time, didn't I? Straight away, bishop takes, queen takes, and it's game over. It's game over. I saw it as soon as I'd made the move. Horrible, horrible blunder. So that's fair enough. I don't mind that because I was aware of it. Then we've got a lot of manoeuvring, and we're level or better for the rest of the game, but it's taken right till the end of the game, and there's nothing too much. Actually, there's a further blunder coming up there, so we'll just quickly flick through to that. But we ended up in a very long manoeuvring game here. So we've both been finding still a lot of good moves, even though the overall accuracy isn't brilliant. Yeah, I thought here, if I go to the side, the knight can... There's a risk the king's going to get trapped there. The knight can get a bit jumpy. The other rook might come across. It just felt too dangerous, so I came back over. Now, we've just been doing some manoeuvring. The knight should have come back, didn't. He was okay to drop back there rather than trade. And then we're just coming up to these little blunders here. But we're now both getting to our final minute. So he should have blocked with the knight. And here I should have thrown a check in instead of coming here. And that's actually a blunder. Wow, +6. So there must be a follow-up move. Like if you go here, we've got knight check or something. And there's something worse if you don't. Same if you go here. And if you go here, there's a rook check or a rook check here. Oh, actually, yeah, I can see it now, can't you? That's chaos in it, but we're trying to put my opponent under time pressure. But here, you can't go on the light square because of the rook. If you go on the dark square, there's a knight check winning the rook. Same with that dark square. If that dark square, we can activate the other rook. And otherwise, you're in the corner, we can activate the other rook. And eventually you're going to get trapped, I would assume. Or you're going to get stuck thinking about it. So that was a blunder. And then the game's just about over, and we managed to win on the clock. But a little bit of a sloppy game there, but it is what it is.